All right, everybody, it's the Working Fans Podcast, and today I got the Test the Strings own 3 years in the biz so far, Patrick St. Patrick. How you doing today, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for doing this, Patrick. Appreciate having you on first off. Before we even get started, I know, like we talked before, anyone who's seen you do a lot of physical training, you work out. Did you have an athletic background before you got into pro wrestling?
I didn't play any team sports growing up, but I do jiu-jitsu. I've been doing jiu-jitsu for like maybe 7 years, and Muay Thai about 7 years.
Okay, Muay Thai. Yeah. Interesting. Do you train at the same place for jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai, or you got different?
Yeah, the same place, Plus One Defense Systems in West Hartford.
Nice. Good for you, man. Are you able to incorporate that into like what you do with pro wrestling? Or is there any kind of thing you can play?
Yeah, for sure. You could incorporate it, You just have to there's different ways, but sure. I incorporate it sometimes. Not a lot, but definitely sometimes.
What got you into pro wrestling? What was your beginning fandom?
So I was probably about maybe 7 years old, and I was flipping through the TV one day, and wrestling was on TV. I don't know what it was. I was intrigued, started watching it. I think Test was on TV, Test and Albert. Ever since then, all the kids back then, wrestling was different. So everything changes, but everybody was into wrestling.
That time period you're talking about, I'm a little older, but I remember that Attitude Era. And
yes.
I was fortunate enough too. I grew up in the 80s, and there was two big eras. Like there's the Hogan era, where I got the beginning of it. I remember rock and wrestling, and then it died a little bit, early 90s, so that. And the era you're talking about, I remember I had this job. You'll know this. People from Connecticut will know this. I was working at Mohegan Sun Casino.
Yeah, I remember you.
Waiting for a ride, the employee shuttle, and I see somebody walk in and they have an NWO t-shirt on, a black and white NWO. I'm like, oh, cool. And then I saw someone else with another NWO shirt. And then I saw someone else going in, if you smell, and I'm like, whoa, what is going on here? That was the time period. I remember, this is kicking off, and pro wrestling was at an all-time high. Would you say, as somebody watches, are we possibly in another big period of wrestling right now?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think this era is definitely changing the landscape right now. For sure. A lot of big things happening right now in the wrestling community. So I would definitely say it's kicking back up to where I think other people who weren't fans before or fell off of the bandwagon might hop back on.
Absolutely. And The Rock is probably a big part of that, because I know AJ told me, and even another podcast I was listening to, I heard the same thing this week. I haven't heard. A lot of people who are non-wrestling fans are asking, hey, is that real? What's going on with that? Or, there's all this buzz. And to me, that's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. And I love The Rock. You can't go wrong with The Rock. And he has a Hollywood background. So he's going to I'm sure he'll bring over those people as well who might not have been fans before. They'll be fans now.
You were a big fan of that era, the Attitude Era wrestling. And then when did you decide to get into wrestling, and how did you kind of break in?
So growing up in Connecticut, there wasn't really any schools around where I was at in the Hartford area. So I would always try to figure out how to do it. But like I said, there wasn't any schools. And then I went to a show, the end of 2019, a Raw show. And I was like, man, I got to make this happen. So I started doing research again. Then I found a school in East Haven, but it was kind of out of my way. Then I found Test of Strength in East Hartford, which was literally right by where I live at. And then I didn't think it was real. And one of my friends, he had put me on to it. He was like, yeah, I heard about this school. You should probably check it out. And I was like, all right. So I Googled it. I didn't think it was real. And then I emailed the school, and they emailed me back right away. So oh, it probably is real. I'm going to go. So we set up a day. I went in there, and the rest was history.
Following your dream.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it was always on the back burner for you. So since you can remember, you kind of always wanted to be a wrestler then.
Yeah, pretty much.
So Test of Strength was your main training. Who were some of your coaches? And I guess who are some people maybe you might have trained with elsewhere too?
So my coaches are Wagner Brown and Bobby Ocean. So they have a combined experience of, I think, about 45 years in the business. I train with them 2 or 3 times a week. And then who have I trained with outside of Joe? He's in AEW. Yeah. So I've trained with him a few times. He's come down to the school a few times. I've done seminars as well. So low key seminar was great. Did a couple other seminars. Jazz, she was awesome.
Yeah, you can't go wrong. I mean, those are two hard hitting people, no nonsense. Absolutely. And you've been up with Beyond Wrestling too. You've been part of the Wrestling Open too, right?
Yeah, I've wrestled there a few times.
How was the Wrestle Open experience?
Great, great. My first match there went really, really good. I think I surprised a lot of people. Safe to say, I surprised a lot of people. So that went really good. So they like me up there. Trying to get up there some more.
Good to hear, man. That's
Yeah.
good. It's good to make some waves. And I guess that's part of it, right? Is trying to get booked at all these different promotions and get different types of experience, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, for sure. And they have a great roster of guys. So I would definitely love to get up there more work guys who are a little bit better than doing their thing right now. I would love to do some beyond shows as well. And that place can create other opportunities, and you can go out of the country potentially.
Now you've gotten, like I said, you got a couple combined trainers there, 40 years experience. You've done seminars. What would you say so far is probably the best advice you received in pro wrestling?
The best advice: focus on yourself. Focus on yourself. A lot of people tend to, I want to say, worry about what the other person is doing. Focus on their own. Some people might see somebody that's getting an opportunity and they feel like they should have got the opportunity. I feel like you should just always ask yourself, what can I be doing better to get the opportunity next time? Focus on yourself, stay positive, stay out the way, stay out of drama.
1,000%, man. It's great life advice in general too. Like
Yeah.
I got kids in my life and I tell them all the time, they're always worried about what their brothers are like. Focus on you.
Yeah. Yep. So that's what I do. Just stay out the way, go do my shows, worry about me, how I can get better each week, each month, each year.
I think another important thing is you always want to stay humble, but it's good to kind of keep perspective and be able to enjoy the little strides in the beginning too. And I'm wondering, what would you say so far? You're 3 years in the journey, but what would you say is your biggest accomplishment so far?
My biggest accomplishment? It's a good question. You know what? I'm not sure. I feel like every opportunity every opportunity I get and blow it out of the park is the biggest opportunity. I think, yeah, that's what I would say.
I get it. For you, it's still right now. We're at that stage. The biggest opportunity is the next opportunity. The biggest right? You just keep going. No, for sure. I get it. That makes a lot of sense, man. Patrick, is there anything you do before a match to pump yourself up or maybe to calm yourself down? Any rituals?
Before match, I'll probably do like some exercises, like dynamic movements, maybe push-ups, squats, lunges, stuff like that. Listen to some music. To calm myself down, I'll probably just sit and think.
Right.
And then if I get home late and I can't like unwind, I'll probably like watch some TV or something.
Yeah, take yourself down. I like it. You're still, like I said, we're talking about you're 3 years in the game. What are some of your goals right now?
I want to get more bookings where they're live, like IWTV. I want to do more of that. Maybe hold a belt, a main belt in a promotion. Be like that top guy in a promotion. I think it's a lot of responsibility, but I'm always good with a lot of responsibility and pressure, but I'm always good with responsibility and pressure. So I think something like that would be cool. Another goal would probably be maybe a 30, 40-minute match. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that'd be crazy.
I like it. You got different goals, things you want to accomplish, all kind of unique in their own way, right? You want to carry the company, you want to get that live exposure, put that pressure on you. And yeah, maybe a longer matches for sure.
Yeah.
That's good. We'll take one step away here for a minute now. Besides pro wrestling, I'm gonna hit you with 3 questions for people just to get to know you a little better. What is some music, Patrick saying?
I like all music. Yeah, I like all music. Right now, who am I listening to? Right now, I'm listening to a lot of Boss Man D-Lo. He's from Florida, I think. He just came out. Well, I just heard of him. He might have been out for some years, but I just heard of him. I like him. I listen to a lot of Draco, the Ruler. Who else do I listen to? I listen to some old school stuff. I might listen to some R&B. Like Kali Uchis. I like her. I don't know if that's how you say her last name. I like her. I listen to her. Sometimes you got to listen to some calm stuff to get hyped, too.
Yes. For sure.
Yeah.
What about food-wise? What do you like to eat?
A lot of bad shit I'm not supposed to. My favorite food is probably pizza.
Sure.
I like burgers, but in terms of food, like my favorite go-to food, if I'm hungry but not hungry, or I need to eat something, I'll take like vanilla muscle milk and I'll get like a cereal and I'll just have like muscle milk and cereal. Okay. So good. People think it's crazy, but you can't go wrong. You're getting your protein and the cereal, a little bit of carbs, especially after a workout. Can't go wrong with that.
I like it. Final one, non-wrestling related. Favorite movie?
Ooh, my favorite movie. I think my favorite movie might be Batman Forever or Billy Madison. No, I think it may be Billy Madison.
3 years in the game, you got your goals. We're looking to see more of you. Anything you want to promote, social media, big events coming up, hit us up.
Yeah, so I want to promote to watch Test Your Strength Lone Survivor, March 15th. That'll be on YouTube. So check us out, Test Your Strength. Follow me on Instagram or Twitter, Patrick Saint 2_, and just support. If you like me, support.
That's what
Oh, and stream my songs, all audio places like YouTube Music, Apple Music. Diamonds on My Watch just came out February 14th, and in 500 Degrees. Apple Music, Tidal, Spotify. You can stream that.
Check them out everywhere. All right. Support this man. Show him some